Hey folks, it's Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review for the Dolph Lundgren Marathon. And this time, it's funny, as soon as I turn around the camera, my nose is itching. It's like allergic to the bullshit I'm about to talk about. Hidden Assassin, also known as The Shooter. Now, this is not one of Dolph's worst films. That I say for flicks like The Last Patrol, Agent Red, Jill the Ripper, Retrograde, and The Name of the Team 2. But it's a disappointing film, and overall I can't say I'm a big fan of the flick. There are some elements I don't mind, and maybe if you're a big Dolph fan like I am, it's worth a watch, because maybe you'll feel differently. And again, there are worse movies. It's disappointing when, one, it's directed by Ted Kotcheff. Ted Kotcheff did First Blood, or as the back of this DVD says, Rambo First Blood, but it's just called First Blood, as far as I remember. Love First Blood. I mean, I'm a Rambo fan, for fuck's sake. I'm right there, Rambo First Blood. Maybe they saw this cap and fucking decided to put that on there, Rambo First Blood. But I love the Rambo films, including First Blood. Then he did Uncommon Valor, which I think is one of the most underrated films ever, with Gene Hackman, Patrick Swayze, Fred Ward, Tim Thomerson, Reb Brown, Robert Stack. I love Uncommon Valor to death. Again, I think it's one of the most underrated films ever. He also did Weekend at Bernie's, which is silly and not realistic, but it's fun, funny 80s comedy with two likable lead characters. I thought the actors Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman did a solid job. I love Weekend at Bernie's. I reviewed that on the channel, as well as Uncommon Valor and the Rambo films. So that's three films I enjoy from the guy, but this, with a director who did those kind of films, this didn't really stand up. And the other actors, the only two I recognize, Gavin O'Hurley, who I remember in Superman 3, I think he was the guy who Richard Pryor got drunk in Superman 3. He plays a higher up official who kind of hires Dolph for the mission. And then John Ashton from Beverly Hills Cop, which he was partners with Judge Reinhold and Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. He's there as Dolph's buddy. And then you have Marushka Detmers as this lady here, which I don't know what else she's done. Now, the story, there's a sniper who shoots an ambassador of Cuba. Shoots the guy through the eyes of his sunglasses. And Dolph is called in, helped out by his buddy John Ashton, and they're told by Gavin O'Hurley that they think the sniper is this lady who they think killed a bunch of other people, other assassinations. So they want Dolph and John Ashton to get this girl. Pretty much they looked into it. They follow her to this club. They find out it's a lesbian club. I'm like, oh, she's a lesbian, but she must be bi because she falls for Dolph later in the film. So she goes both ways. Trying to get to know her, to get inside, and not her, but inside her trust. Pretends like he's a wine connoisseur since she's into wine. And there's a couple times of them trying to get her. She escapes. They try to get her in this wine cellar. She escapes. John Ashton's fighting this guy in the wine cellar while Dolph is fighting the girl in the kitchen. They get her, but then when she's tied up, she's able to start a fire in their car. She gets away. Dolph finds this girl who is the assassin's lesbian lover. Finds out where she's at. But then a guy holds a gun to Dolph's head, and The girl and her lover get on a train, and Dolph fucks the guy up with a file, uh, nail file. Well, not fuck it up. He like swipes at the guy, then kicks him. Gets on the train, gets on top of the train. Some nice stunt work, real people on top of a train, no CGI work. Captures her again. The girl goes, well, you know what? I've done assassinations in the past, but they were bad people. I did not do this one. I haven't been working for years, at least 5 years. Someone set me up. Dolph doesn't believe it at first. Then he's like, I wonder. Take her somewhere. Some guy stopped them. Dolph said, they take the girl. Dolph's like, wait a minute, this is bullshit. Drives the truck in, and then fights some guys off, shoots some guys off. Well, not off, shoots some guys up. One decent bit I thought was interesting, because it's not the typical thing that's done, is when Dolph hits a guy with a vehicle, the guy just drug under and is being dragged under the vehicle. That was a little bit different. Not of the norm, so to speak. You get a couple little bits of action, like they get stopped by these guys in cars, and Dolph and the girl shoot them before they get shot themselves. They go to John Ashton's apartment. They find out he's part of it. A sniper tries to kill them. Dolph has to go on top, not on top, but on the side of a building's ledge. Again, nice stunt work. The real people hanging off a building. And Dolph shoots. Nice blood squib to the head of the sniper. And then this is a piece of surprising plot point. Is the girl had gotten shot and dies of her wounds. Which I didn't expect. I had seen this film before, but I forgot it. Which just shows how much I care for the film. But I was surprised that she died in the flick. Granted, I just ruined it just now, but I don't know how many people are going to go out and search for a 1995 Dolph Lundgren film released by Dimension Home Video, which I don't even know if this DVD's in print anymore. But hey, this is me doing my review. But that's surprising. That not a typical thing. And then there's this summit between the U.S. and Cuba. Goes into the sewers. Finds out John Ashton, yes, he is working with the bad guys, and he was the sniper at the beginning of the film. He didn't try to kill Dolph Lundgren a few minutes ago, but he was the sniper at the beginning. And John Ashton, like, they don't want to kill each other, but Ashton knows he's done the wrong thing, but he had to. But, the movie's not trying to give us sympathy, but he's not a clear-cut villain. Because then another guy throws an explosive, and John Ashton tells Dolph to take care of his wife for him, and jumps on the explosive, I guess to help save Dolph. Decent explosion. And while this is a bullshit on the screenplay part, because you have this big summit between U.S. and Cuba, Dolph is almost head to toe in blood. They're not going to let this guy in with a gun, even if Gavin O'Hurley says, "Yeah, give him a gun." But I mean, it's an action film. You either go with that kind of stuff or you don't. But so yeah, I don't. But I like the setup. I like the look of Dolph being bloodied up. I thought it was a good look for Dolph. I mean, you don't see the blood there, but which I don't know why. You see a little bit more in the picture down below. Like the side of him being bloodied up. And damn, if that's the case, that's a bit of fucked up continuity, because even in the same picture you see that his shirt is a little bit more bloody, but it's not on there. Was that in the movie and I didn't notice? But I like the look. Issues a warrant, reads the true villain's rights. It's a little shootout on a rooftop. and shoots two guys with this machine gun. Nice blood squibs. The movie ends. They're going to pin the murder on the girl because if they pin it on John Ashton, then his wife won't get a pension. They don't want that, so they'll pin it on the girl, even though she had nothing to do with it. And Dolph has some fond memories of her and walks off. And I know people once again go, well, man, why do you just sum up the movie when you do reviews? It's not really a review. I do that a lot of times so that if it's a movie I like, I want to get to all the points I like. And if it's a movie I'm like, or don't care for that much, I just told you the whole movie and you don't need to watch it if you don't want to. The movie, that is. So if you're curious, now you don't have to be curious anymore because I didn't really leave anything out. I guess maybe this film, it might have had some stuff taken out, I believe. Maybe 10-15 minutes of stuff like character development taken out. I think I read that on the trivia on IMDb. Because this is under 90 minutes long. And it seems like a foot that would have been a little bit longer. Not that I'm complaining, because the weird thing about, the hard thing about reviewing this film, there's much worse movies, and there's much better films. This is a film that's kind of in the middle, but even then I would say below average. Maybe that's the best way to call it, below average. Just the look of the film, the cinematography isn't that bad. Dolph Lundgren and this girl, they aren't that bad. It's nice to see John Ashton in a film. Visited, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, Midnight Run with Robert De Niro. That's another good movie. There's some nice bits of blood squibs. There's not a ton of action, unfortunately. There's a couple little decent bits of stunt work. Being on top of a train or being on the outside of a real ledge of a building. And I get there was the attempt to do a little bit different type of Dolph Lundgren film, a little bit more of a thriller. But I didn't really feel much thrills with the flick. I mean, I can't sit here and say it's god-awful, but it's definitely not can't miss excitement that will blow you away, as these DVDs usually. Or more explosive action from the director of Rambo First Blood. There's not much explosive action in the film. It's forgettable. At the end of the day, a below average forgettable flick. Granted, I would rather watch this than the other Hidden Agenda, which I'll get to with Dolph Lundgren, because that one is even more boring and has a plot that's trying to be more convoluted. Here, the plot is fairly straightforward. This female assassin, she's not really the assassin, it's someone else. Okay, then. Maybe some people would say a little bit predictable, but at least, again, not convoluted. I didn't think it was confusing or any other aspects of that nature. It's just, if you watch the trailer, you kind of got the whole gist of the movie, and you're not really missing much. It's not really a Dolph Lundgren I can see much, many people going back to watch over and over again. Is it better than a movie like this? Fuck yes. But it's, I can't even call it, I almost want to call it average, but then I want to say a little bit below average. It's mixed in between the two. Three writers had a hand in this. Yves Andre Martin, Meg Thayer, and Billy Ray. Which that name sounds familiar. I'm not talking about Billy Ray Cyrus. That's all I can say. I'll just be repeating myself. Hidden Assassin. It's not a hidden gem. It's there, but kind of boring as well. Take that for what you will. I don't know what else I can say about this film. This is one of those films that's hard to review because there's not much to say about it. At least in my opinion. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again for another Dolph Lundgren review later.